Go. Checking out my new hairdo. Better than a hair don't, wouldn't you say? Good morning. Good morning. Okay. I'm going to double check because this was silly. This happened yesterday. Let me make sure I'm on the right channel. You guys, I'm on the right channel, right? Leslie, Laura, Becky, Blonde, Cheryl with an... there we go. Oh, my computers. Well, you know what? You guys are here, so yes. Yesterday was silly. Okay, thank you. Okay, good. Yeah, I had a feeling. I don't know why I mixed it up. Okay, thank you, you guys. I appreciate it. You gave me peace of mind, which to me, priceless. So thank you. But you know what? I mean, that just shows that I'm a human. I'm only human, of flesh and blood I'm made, right? So yeah, here we are. Here we are. I don't know if this has come up on anybody else's TikTok page because I feel like it's kind of interesting. Everybody's TikTok page is a little bit different. And I have the Gap Band song, Gotta Get Up Early in the Morning. People are doing that line dance. That is showing up on my FYP like nobody's business. Hey, Kelly D. Kelly D, thank you for starting my day off with a wonderful message. Kelly D is saying, thank you for your tips. I implemented a few and it really helped. Yay! Yay, good for you and good for me. Thank you for letting me know because the last thing I want to do is tell you stuff that doesn't work, right? And thank you for thinking I'm awesome. Erin, good morning. Good morning. And notice, those of you, not that anybody notices, all you need is love, a little Beatles action. What I realized this morning as I went to go make a cup of tea, and I can't believe it's back to hot tea weather, is I obviously have a lot of dirty dishes in my dishwasher because the mugs I typically like to drink from are not in the cupboard. They're not in the cupboard, so they must. And there's one in the sink from yesterday. But yeah, I obviously need to run the dishwasher. So yay, yeah, I am here to give you tips. Tips and tricks sounds kind of snappy coming off of the tongue. It's a little bit of like marketing, whatever. What tricks, I don't know, like advice, solid, practical, whatever. Stuff that's going to help you, however you want to call it. I'm here for that. Okay. I love it, Laura Gibbon Voorhees, my declutter task while we are here. I love it. I love it when people have like a declaration. Sort through 4 bins of stuff to go to see where it goes. And a trip to the Thrift Commission shop is on the docket today. A docket. Do I even have a docket? I guess that's my list of things to do. So nice to see you. Back to the office. Yay. Erin has also declared her intentions. She's going back into the office. And you know why, Erin? It's going back into the office. It's because yesterday when we did a TikTok live, she realized how much easier it was for her. And I know I'm talking for you, but like, this is what I'm thinking, is you discovered that it wasn't as bad as you thought it was going to be in the office when you had like a little buddy system here, a bunch of us hanging out together on this TikTok live. Now I'm going to be doing this TikTok live for the next 56 minutes or so. And so do you want to declare something? Do you want to do any decluttering while we're here hanging out together? Okay. There we go. Talking about somebody who often declares her intentions. You know, what do I want to do? I want to spend some time this is what I want to do. Cat Roby in the house. You know? Hey, oh, let's go. Hey, ho, let's go. Finishing a run. Oh, God bless you. Then tidy the kitchen, start the laundry, and face the tidy. Face the tiny bathroom tidy. I love it. Okay. Good morning. Good morning, Monk. Well, good morning, everyone. If we haven't met yet, my name is Beth. More importantly, though, my coaching, I'm a decluttering life coach, and my coaching is called Destination Decluttered. And I say that to you because if you like what you hear, and you remember Destination Decluttered, you can find me here on TikTok, website, destinationdecluttered.com, YouTube channel. We have a YouTube tonight, one of the evening ones for people. And I'm here to help you with what you're jammed up with. I'm here to help make it easier for you. How does that sound? I am here to make it easier for you to do the decluttering that you have been maybe struggling with. Okay? Now, everybody's at a different point in their decluttering journey, their decluttering road trip, as I like to call it. How can I make it easier for you? What would make it easier for you to do some decluttering, even within before 8:30 a.m. Eastern time today on Wednesday? I'm practicing using my brain. Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025. Because there's all sorts of things. I have decluttering to do, but I have been delaying it because the place for my clutter, so notice this, it's not clutter, first of all, but I am going to go through things that at a certain point I determined was not clutter. I put it into storage. This is interesting. I put it into storage, having gone through it, and at the time that I put it into storage in the past, when I put it into storage, into a container, and I stored it, I determined that the stuff in one of those boxes, and you know the boxes I'm talking about, the ones over here, at that time, that stuff was not clutter. That was good stuff. The difference between clutter and good stuff. Okay? And, however, I want to check back in because I am not the person I was back then. And there's nothing wrong with checking in to say, is this stuff that previous me, that past me, because if you get past, present, future, like Father, God, Boston accent, wicked bad. Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, right? Holy Spirit, actually. I don't think we said ghost, but I don't know. It's been a while. It's been a few decades. Past me thought this was important. What does present me think about what that is? So there we go. Yeah, Kate, wicked. Kate, I may get some fried clams with bellies this weekend. I'm just saying. Oh, actually, you know what's funny? You may not be the Kate that I bond over about New England seafood, but Kate, any Kate. And yay, talking about New England seafood, Ocean Nana took your advice yesterday to rest the arm and went for a drive to the seashore. So relaxing. Yes, Ocean Nana. Please, people. I used to manage teams. I used to run stores. I used to be a boss. I don't want to boss anymore. And if I'm going to boss you around, I'm going to say, stop beating yourself up and working so hard and go to the beach. Carpe beachum, okay? So I love that you did that because life is not all about work. It's about work and play. And the combo, the peanut butter and jelly, the fluffer nutter of work and play. All right? And knowing that it's not an either and, but it's like a conjunction, junction, what's your function? And, but, and, or. Use the and more than the or. I could do this or that. How about I could do this and do that? Obviously not at the same time, but on the same day, you could do a half hour of decluttering, which would be beneficial, and a few hours on the beach, you know? Now, Kate says, I need to get that balance. Now, as you can tell already from the first 5 minutes you've been hearing me, I talk in a lot of Gen X pop culture metaphors that make sense to me. So whenever anybody talks about the balance, there's a song by Depeche Mode from back in the day called Get the Balance Right. And think about a balance. A balance is not always 50-50, 60-40, 20-30, 20-80, 70-30. Every day it's going to be a little bit different, but ideally what you are looking for is that balanced feeling. Tipping one way or the other feels out of balance and kind of out of whack, whatever whack is. And that's whack. But getting that balance right is going to be different for everybody. Oh, Oceanana had a lobster roll. I'm getting a lobster roll tomorrow. I am. Oh, I love that. Yeah. So if you need to get the balance right or get more back in balance, Kate, I'm just riffing because you put up. So what are the two things? Think about a balance. Think about like the scales of justice, or like the, what is it, Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil type of thing. What are the two things that are out of balance? Work and fun, decluttering and other stuff. Get curious about that, because obviously one is weighing heavier, one is taking up more time and energy in your life, and conversely, on the flip side, because we're always talking about the flip side here, conversely, that means that you don't have as much time or energy for the other thing. So what's the other thing? Plus another guy, as my sister and I would say. Stuff like that there. Stuff like that there. Okay? So, I'm here to help you with that. That is why I freaking love that I decided at a certain point in my coaching journey, being a coach, having gotten coaching before, that it was so important for me to include the element of what, is commonly known as life coaching. And what I just mean is instead of just being a declutter coach and having a silo and ignoring the rest of it, it's incorporating your life and decluttering into your everyday life. So your day has that sense of kind of balance, Okay? So if you're feeling out of balance, let's help you. I can help you with that. Sure, why not? Why not? Now, this is interesting. Kat Roby says, yesterday I did my first 2-hour float in a sensory deprivation tank to completely unplug. Interesting. I wonder how that went. Pretty cool. Yesterday, I will share with you for the last many days, and I always want to be transparent, because what I do not like is people who kind of say one thing but are doing the other. Like you see influencers or people who are trying to give advice and they preach one thing but then they're secretly doing something else. Like, that's not me. So I will admit to you that, so we got home on Friday from 2 weeks away. Friday was barely a recuperating day. Saturday we had somebody over the house. Sunday we were all day out of the house. Yesterday we had the basement guy over. Yesterday was the first day in a number of days that literally I could be in our house in the middle of our street. I could be in the house with nobody here, not even my husband, because he went off to do a rehearsal. It felt so good. It felt so good. I could feel where I needed some fart around, lay on the couch, scroll and read and just chill time. So notice when you may need that and find a way. I can help you find a way to get that. Sure, there are dishes in my sink. Sure, there is dirty laundry in the hamper. There's clean laundry in the dryer. I didn't take a shower, but it was important for me to just chill yesterday. And because I did that, I feel better today. So what could you do right now to make yourself feel better right now? Shall we go through it together? Let's pretend we're on like Romper Room, right? No, I will also I will share with you. Despite that, I woke up and I had a headache. I get headaches sometimes. So I got up this morning and took a headache pill and I drank some water. I also realized that my headaches tend to be, or the headaches I get, I want to distance myself from them so I don't say my headaches. The headaches that decide to visit me occasionally often come by way of, I believe, a muscular thing. I pretty much can tell that I have a thing. So I'm also luckily scheduled for a massage today. So I have done some things today. I've had some water. Drink some water, people. I have a hot cup of tea because the caffeine helps me and the warmth makes me feel good so my hands aren't cold. What could you do right now to make yourself feel physically better? I have socks on my feet because it's getting to be sock weather. As I said, my hands are warming up because of the heat on my thing. Before you start anything, just check in with your physical body. Do a scan. Get your hands in the air, wave them around like you just don't care, and then do a scan. Boop, 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 boop. From the crown on down. How you feeling? And if anything lights up red, alert, 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 do something to take care of it. You got to pee, you got to poo, you got to hungry. You know, I took vitamins this morning. Make yourself feel good physically, because that will also help you energetically. So physically and then energetically are the first two places before you start any project and before you even start to declutter. Usually people just jump right in. Like I tend to jump right in on my TikTok lives, right? Okay, so Leslie has said to me, and I love this. Leslie says today's hydration word. So for those of you who don't know what a hydration word is, this is just something we've kind of played around with. We've made this game. Everybody, you're all invited. I don't gatekeep. I tend to use the same words over and over again. That is okay. Repetition is a way of learning. And every time I decide to use the same word again, it means that I feel like that word is helpful. If it wasn't, I would try to substitute another word. So yesterday, I used the word down a lot. So notice I said from the crown on down. That gets a rhyme and the word down. And then your nervous system calming down, writing down, chunking down. So Leslie says, today's hydration word is love. Here's 3 ounces right now, Leslie. Love, love, love. I won't sing the whole song because you're going to be running to the bathroom by 8:30, okay? But yeah, I love to use the word love. And I get really curious when I use the word hate or when other people use the word hate. So how about this? I will try to use the word love more. So by 9 o'clock, Leslie will be a bit more hydrated. Also, using the word love gets you kind of in a more loving way. Can you imagine if I said hate all the time, how I would feel by 9 o'clock? So I love to use the word love. I get curious about the word hate, which to me is the opposite, one of the opposites of love. The other one is fear, basically. So notice what you say you hate. And I offer, there are some things that are worth hating in this world, but very few. And some things get a bad rap. Like people say, I hate to do laundry. No, I won't say I love to do laundry. But you know what's a great thing between those two? Is the kind of I don't mind. Like doing laundry doesn't activate my nervous system. Okay? So think about the way you would use the words love and hate. And let's see. I don't know, Leslie, I'd be curious how many times I use it in the next 45 minutes. That's great. Pick a word, any word. Anytime I say it, it's like doing shots when you're watching what do you call that? When people talk, a debate, right? Anytime I say a word, and you can pick any word. Take a sip of water. Water is like liquid air. You need water and air to live, and you will feel better. Yep. And if you're a God type person, Mom Lou says love brings you closer to God. So there's that. So yeah. How about this? Now, Leslie, I do not mean to drown you, so feel free to omit some of the sips from water, but I will share with you. What do I love? I love waking up in the morning in a house that feels good to live in. I love being able to easily find things that I need to use during the day to make my life easier. Scissors, tweezers, underpants, socks, a hoodie, medicine, a cup for my tea. I love my life. I really do. I really do. And I say this to you because I want you to love your life too. Have I loved my life all the time? Nope. Have there been portions? Yup. But more than ever in my entire existence, I can say with you, with a full heart and sincerity, because I don't bullshit, I am in love with my life more now than ever any other time in my life. And it's a really cool feeling. And that's why I show up to help you increase the balance of more love and less, right? So let's get to it, okay? We start this by focusing on like the destination. Let's talk about the destination. Why do I call it Destination Decluttered? Because when you know what you're aiming for, kind of like if you've got like a bow and arrow, shoot that poison like at your heart. You know, if you don't know what you're aiming your arrow at, you know, and I want to try to do it in a way that's not kind of like shooting a gun or whatever, but a journey. You don't know where to point your car. Point your car towards something good. This is why I love, there we go. The road trip metaphor has served me well for decades because I used to write books on road tripping. I used to make videos about road tripping. I've been interviewed in the TV and the paper for that type of thing. So this is why I think it's so great that part of my wacky brain, my awesome creative human brain, said to me at one point, hey, why don't you try calling your coaching Destination Decluttered? It helps me remind myself, where am I headed? And that I'm in control of where I steer, what direction I steer in. Even if in decades past, in years past, I have felt like I had no control over that. So I remind you, you have more control over your life than you may have been telling yourself. So even if you think you don't, let's play the game of destination. If I say I love my life, I could give you a list of things that I love about it. And man, there will be a swimming pool of water that Leslie would be, trying to desperately hydrate with. So start with, what do you love about your life? Write that stuff down to make sure you keep it in your life. The people in your life, the experiences, whatever it is that you love, to keep more of that in your life, or just the right amount, not even more, but to consistently have the stuff you love in your life. And when I say stuff, I don't mean just things, because that can be cluttery. But what are the things, if somebody said, what do you love about your life? This would be the list. That is a good list to start with. And let's go there. Let's go to the other side. What are the things, and as I said, I don't like to use the word hate, but this is where one of the things, writing down. Grab a notebook, fold a paper in half. You guys know I'm big about folding the paper in half. What are some things that you're not so keen on about your life? Write that down too. Do not be afraid of going there. There, where? To the dark side, temporarily. Because there is so much gold. I always say there's so gold in them thar hills. There is so much valuable info encased in the words that you use to describe what you don't like, because that helps you realize that if you don't like this, you may like or love the opposite. So notice where you are out of balance, as Kate said, out of alignment. What are you not so psyched about in your life? And write that stuff down. And then don't just write it down and be like, yep, that's where I am. Fold the paper in half. And then what is the opposite, right? So you have the stuff that you already have in your life. Every single one of you, I know you could come up with a list. And I'm going to say of 9 items, because I'd like 3. 3 is a magic number. Let's even start. Let's chunk it down. That's another down. 3 things that you love about your life. Write it down. Look at that. Feel the feels of love. Sowing the seeds of love. Then write down another 3. Then write down another 3. If you can't come up with anything, then go to the other side. Write down the things you don't love, and what can we do to change that? You can change many of the things that you think you can't change. Okay? So I offer this to you in that kind of broad, general, lifey, coachy thing. But let's hone it on down to the silo we're in. Oh my God, we're in a silo. Decluttering your home. What do you love about your home? What do you not like about your cluttered home? Obviously, clutter is probably going to be on the list. If you don't like it one way, practice flipping it. Practice thinking of things from a different perspective. And there's always a flip side, because there's, two sides. And then let's get curious. How can we get you closer to what you want and further away from what you don't want? And I can help you with that. I say how. I know how. You may not know how, so you may not even try. I don't know how to drive, so I'm not going anywhere. I can teach you how to drive. Okay? So what is something, let's go to that. So I know you could all tell me, hopefully, you could put in the comments the stuff you love about your home. But I'm really here to, I can cheerlead like nobody's business. Yay, that's great, that's great, that's great. I can really help you, though, more effectively by helping you with what you're stuck with. So that's why I show up here on TikTok lives and YouTube lives and videos and one-on-one coaching, declutter parties. We've got declutter parties. And email group, the Pen Pal Club, all the Destination Decluttered stuff. It's all to help you where you are stuck. I can help you right now because I'm live. This is not Memorex, people. Somebody throw something in the comments where you feel you're stuck, or where you were like pretend like you're on the side of the road. Okay, smart. All right, I'm stuck for sure. Where are you stuck? Pretend this, okay? You're in a car and your car is stuck on the side of the road. I am the AAA tow truck. So you call me and you say, I'm stuck. And you can tell I'm of an age because my phone looks like this as opposed to like a cell phone. I'm stuck. And I'll say, okay, where specifically are you stuck? So I can drive my tow truck to where you are. What is something that you are particularly stuck with? Specificity, chunking it down and getting more specific, is one of the tools to help you get unstuck. Okay? Now, one of the things that gets people stuck a lot, so I'm going to address it right now, is the feeling of overwhelm and the words we use to overwhelm ourselves and what we do to inadvertently, you may not know how much you overwhelm yourself. You create the feeling of overwhelm in your body sometimes by what you look at and how you think of it and what you do. Okay? So Denise is saying, I have a garage that is packed. Notice the verb packed with stuff. Okay, the packed, and then the litany of stuff that's packed in there. Tools, toys, decorations, and miscellaneous items, and it's overwhelming. See, I saw your thing, and I knew you were overwhelmed by the words you were using. So I start with the garbage bag and then stop, because not all the stuff. Okay, I'm missing something. Everybody. Remember that song? Recognize when the words, what you see, is translated into words that make you feel, that cause the feeling of overwhelm in your body. Because the feeling of overwhelm will shut you down. Notice what you look at makes you think a thing, and that looking and thinking makes you feel a thing. So I say, everybody, wicked simple, write this down. The opposite of overwhelm is going to be the word down. It's going to be quieting down your nervous system, calming down your nervous system. It's going to be looking down. Instead of looking at everything, you're going to look down. You're going to focus down on one little area. Overwhelm stops you from getting started. So the opposite of overwhelm, which is going to be calming down, chunking down, writing down, all the downs, will decrease the overwhelm. And when you have decreased the overwhelm, you are more likely to get started, to feel good about what you're doing, decluttering, and most importantly, to show up again. Because decluttering is not a one and done. Decluttering is a step by step, by mile, by mile, by mile. And one of the things you need to do in order to do that journey is find a pace that works for you, so that you will show up for another time and another time and another time. We all want to be from here to there in one fell swoop. Fell swoop. Interesting phrase. It doesn't happen that way, people. It doesn't. So just eliminate that idea, okay? When you are decluttered and you have less clutter and you have better methods of keeping yourself decluttered, then it doesn't take that long at all. But for now, it's going to take, and even then, it will take 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, okay? So notice what Denise said. It's overwhelming. I feel the feeling of overwhelm, so I stop. My hands don't do anything. It's as if there's two lights that need to be pressed at the same time, a green light in my head and a green light in my heart. And without those two green lights, the machine of the hands do not work. If there's a green light here, but a red light here, or a yellow light right here, there's not a connection in that machine, and you stop. So let's rewire that. Let's address the I know I want to and have to and all the the thoughts of decluttering, but the feeling is the deal breaker, or like the circuit breaker. It's not creating that circuit to allow you to move and to start. Okay. So the other thing too, and smart, you are not alone in dealing with paperwork and also stuff that was left to you by your mom. Okay, paperwork and things like that. It's my paperwork with losing my mom. I have to hang on to it all till it's all finished. She had no will, and I've been dealing with this for 5 years, not even be able to grieve her yet. Well, I highly recommend you grieve her. Please, the feelings need to be, it's very helpful to get comfortable with feeling your feelings. Don't be afraid to grieve. Don't say, I can't grieve until I do this. Grieve, hon, grieve. Let it all hang out, okay? But what I will offer to you is this. Okay, couple things. Alrighty. Feel the feelings. You feel overwhelmed. Why not feel something else? You feel resentment. You feel sadness. You feel frustration. You feel a lot of things. Why not just allow that grieving? Whatever comes up, feel it, and then let it go. But what I will say is this, is smart, is sometimes those things do take a lot of time and effort. Compartmentalize it. Put all your mom paperwork in a box and label it mom paperwork. That box is part of your life, but it's not the entire kind of pie. It's a slice of pie, and boy, do I love pie. But you have other pieces of pie in your life. Are you neglecting them because you are focusing too much on the mom stuff? Putting things into perspective, okay? So notice where you can process the grief and the paperwork. Now, sometimes there's grief in the paperwork. We had paperwork from when my in-laws passed away for years because my husband was afraid to feel the feelings, was afraid to feel sad, didn't want to deal with it, and I honored that. I didn't push him, so don't push yourself. There may be things that organically come up. You'll get a bill in the mail and you need to do things, okay? Do things at a pace that works for you, but remember, your clutter is only a slice in the pie of life, okay? Your clutter, but you have a whole life. You have like 7 other pieces of pie, all right? It's funny. I literally have a thing that I wrote down to remind myself when there was some piece of my pie that blew up and I had to calm down, is I chunked it down. And literally a slice of pie is a chunk of pie. And I reminded myself of all the other good things that were going on in my life. And the only thing that was all kind of Maine wild blueberry all over was this one slice. Okay? So I'm going to back up a little bit here. Okay? I'm going to back up because I want to make sure. Denise, this is really important. I'm glad you brought it up because I want to share it with everybody too. Denise in the garage is overwhelmed by the stuff. Wicked important thing, people. Wicked important. Denise says, not all the stuff is mine, so I don't want to throw anybody else's stuff out. Wicked important thing, asterisk. Get other people involved in decluttering. If it is not your stuff, get the people who own that stuff involved in the decluttering. Do not do it for them. You may think you're doing a good job. You may also create resentments. Trust me, decluttering, I'll back it up a little bit. Decluttering is a life skill. If you do it for somebody else, they don't learn that skill. They also then may resent you if you inadvertently throw away the wrong thing because they wanted it. Also, frankly, you should not have to pick up other people's messes. Getting people trained to pick up after themselves is part of becoming a good human being. Okay? Now, this may not be where it's at with whoever you live with, but I offer to you that if you want to have a cleaner garage, you can't do it by yourself. You could, but you haven't because you're stopped. Get the other people involved. All right? Oceanana, stuck with the living room. Too much stuff in here, major overwhelm. However, need to make space in the garage for the stuff in the living room. Okay, so let's back it up. Notice that this is going to be one of those things. Oh, do I have it? Hold on for a sec. I have something that might be funny to look at. Okay, here. Where is it? Oh, no, is that it? Yeah. Okay, so check this out. Oceanana and everybody. Do you remember these things? These like little slidey puzzles you got? I obviously got this in Myrtle Beach like 30 years ago, right? And notice how the picture does not match here. I use these a lot because sometimes you need to move things temporarily into one place before permanently keeping something. Like we know that this belongs up here, but it can't get to there from here, just like being in Maine. So you have to put it in the right place. So notice Oceanana. You say you're stuck with the living room, but really what you're stuck with is the garage. So start with the garage. What are the things in the way in the garage that are prohibiting you from moving stuff out of the living room? Okay? So notice that. All right? Yay, Kara's garden is in the garden. I can almost see my breath. I know it's that time of year. She finished my wall project because she's doing stuff for herself and helping a friend later. Me and my friend. Me and my arrow. Also made a Savers box. Savers is a thrift store up in Mass. Also made a Savers box yesterday and cleaned up the kitchen. Still got to find a 0% credit card. I don't know if there's a 0% credit card, but yeah, I'm sure you can find that. Now, Leslie M is saying, I managed my mom's estate and used estate as a way of avoiding feelings for too long. And Leslie's just offering let it in and let it out. Okay. Now, Denise says, what does everyone do with their mail? I don't know what everyone does, but I'll help you with that. I open it. I open it when it first comes in. I used to not do that. I take it out of the envelope. I recycle the envelope. And I also recycle any of that like marketing stuff. And I get more comfortable being aware of what's in the mail on a daily basis. I am not afraid. Fear will stop you. That's another asterisk. Write this down. Fear of something is stopping you from opening your mail. Notice, look, if you are not doing something that your head says to do, it's because you've got a feeling of fear in your heart. So that's how I deal with my paper, my mail. And I've gotten used to it. And I will share with you guys. Again, total transparency. I used to be afraid to open up my bills because I felt shame in how much money I was spending. I was afraid that when I saw how much money I owed to my credit card, I was afraid there wasn't going to be enough money in the bank to pay that. Now, the silly thing is, my credit card statement was just, it was a historical fact. I didn't think about it. I didn't really, truly think about it when I was making the purchase, but it was the cumulative effect of all those little purchases. So I was afraid. I was ashamed. I felt scared. my nervous system, even talking in those words right now, kind of flares up. I remember that feeling. You can conjure up a feeling in your body like nobody's business, okay? But instead of feeling that fear right now, I'm calming down. I coach myself through it. I love opening up my mail. I love the feeling of feeling better about, feeling good about whatever I spent my money on. And I feel secure and safe that there is money in my account to pay for it. Alrighty? So, notice this. There we go. Leslie M. is offering with mail. I sort mail at the recycling bin in the garage so that the junk mail never enters. Yeah, we actually, here's a fun thing. My husband and I used to work for a very short time in my life as a process engineer. Every single one of us here runs our house more like an inefficient business than we think we do. And I will offer to you, I can walk you through the steps that I take with the mail. And I have kind of trained my husband to do the same. We go to the mailbox, we take the mail out, we walk it from there and we place it on a certain place on the counter or sometimes on the desk, but it doesn't go every which way. There's a home for the mail that has come in. When the mail has come in, I tend to stand there and I am practicing getting more comfortable opening the mail because I used to be afraid of it. So I practice on a daily basis, calming down my nervous system to say there's nothing to be afraid of in that envelope. And even if there is something unexpected and we have a $600 bill from the dermatologist because they didn't get the, pre-authorization, then we're aware of something and then we can deal with it. So I will then open the stuff out. I will put the recycles to the side. I will leave the things that are like action items, things that need to be done on the counter. I will put the paperwork, the stuff to the recycle in the recycle bin. And then, depending upon what the action is, I will put it in a place that reminds me to take the action. Okay? Everybody has their own system. Review your system now and see what step of the process of your process makes it all fall apart. Okay? Alrighty. So Denise says, I think I'm just overwhelmed and work long hours and have zero help. Now this is really interesting. Denise, I will just offer to you. I don't know you from Eve as opposed to from Adam because I like to mix things up. Okay. I bet you are overwhelmed. If you work long hours and you think you have zero help or you truly have zero help, that can feel overwhelming. But the curious thing is, you said earlier, I feel like I'm like Nancy Drew with my little book of clues, right? You said earlier that there's other people's stuff in your garage. So unless you live on your own and you're on an island, in theory, there are people in your life that could, and notice how I phrase this, could participate in the decluttering process, participate in the decluttering and maintenance of a well-run household. Not help you with it, because it's not just your house, but they could participate in it. Now that is a shift in the power dynamic in your home, perhaps, in your life, but I am just offering to you that is something that is a possibility. Examine that. See where you are doing too much and they, whoever they are, aren't doing as much as you, and try to shift it. It will take some rocky roads to get there sometimes, but it is worth the journey. Okay? Now notice, male ugh, says Amy from Miami, right? So notice, if you are stressed out about money, bills. Isn't it funny? I'm trying to say the word mail, but money and bills come up because money it can be a very activating, making you feel all sorts of feels, right? Motorboat. Do I have enough? Do I not have enough? I have it, but I'm afraid to spend it. I don't have it. Where am I going to, calming down and love yourself That's for you, Leslie, because I don't know how many times I've said love, and I want to make sure you've got your hydration going on. Love yourself enough to slow down right now. Notice what you do. And I know this is overly simple, but I'll just say it in the vaguest terms. Change what doesn't work. Slow down to see where your process, where your little like factory, you do something and you want this result, right? But there is a part in your conveyor belt. What do you call that thing? Like the Model T Fords, like the automation chain, you know? There is a station on your assembly line that is causing you to not have a decluttered home. And notice I'm saying this with very little drama, very little judgment, very little feeling, because when we start to feel the feels about it, that can stop you from seeing things clearly, like you would as if you were diagnosing where on a road trip, how did I end up here when I was heading there? And then you backtrack and you say, oh, I missed the exit here. Or I took a detour when I was really, or I stopped here, so I'm not where I want to be yet. When you calm down your, what I like to call backseat driver voice, that to me is the unhelpful fear voice in your body, which I bet you have, because I've got it, you've got it too. Okay? Quieting down your backseat driver. Notice what I did. Instead of being afraid, I went to the side of love. I love the fact that I have the ability to put something on a charge card. I love the fact that I don't necessarily need to pay for something right away. I love the fact that when I put something on my credit card, my purchases give me points that I can then use to get a free fancy hotel somewhere. I love the fact that I can do this. So start to not just stop the quiet behavior, like the unhelpful thoughts. It's not it's a yes and replace them with some better, more better feeling words in your head to create a better feeling in your heart, so you won't be so afraid of opening your mail. Okay? Now, Anastasia's offering, I wrote all my monthly bills in a notebook, and I check off each one, easier to keep track. 100%. I have a matrix right there because we have a bunch of credit cards, and I schedule my mom's credit cards. So I want to feel secure that everything is scheduled. Now, the interesting thing is I have recently turned mine on to auto pay because we travel, and what I have is a refined process that allows me to review the statements, but also just review it and not necessarily have to schedule it. It's already scheduled. You know? There we go. Anastasia is working on her thing. I don't take my credit card with me, so it's not tempting to use. Yeah. Now, notice your habits. Anastasia's in the habit of not taking her credit card with her. To me, Anastasia, I take a credit card with me, and I always have like a $20 bill with me if I'm ever at a place that is like a cash-only type dealie. You know? Yep. Hawkeye is saying, love auto pay, one less decision and no late fees. Right. However, and I will just put this there, auto pay can be scary to people who don't know if there isn't going to be enough money in the account when the auto pay hits. Even me, I check my balance, even though I have the money right now. Well, if that isn't due till the 27th, will there be money in the account to cover that? And if not, what do I do then? So different strokes for different folks. But notice how you feel is so freaking important. The feeling of peace of mind. I don't know if you guys were here at 8 a.m. when I started this TikTok live. Beth, Destination Declutter, decluttering life coach, but talking about more of the life part than the declutter part, because it's so true. I was unsure if I was in the right place this morning because I screwed up yesterday and went to TikTok as opposed to YouTube. So I asked, hey, you guys, am I in the right place? People said yes. And talk about peace of mind. Now, it's funny. We think of our mind right here. I think of my brain here, but my brain and my mind are kind of connected right here. That peace of mind feeling, that safety, that nothing has gone wrong here feeling. Nothing is going wrong. Everything is okay. You are safe feeling. That's a good one. That's what I strive for. It is okay. All right? So when I am here to help you with you decluttering your home, I'm here to help remind you that that really is the destination we're going for, is you feeling okay. Yeah. So it's just a fascinating topic to me. It is. There's so much more under the surface of having things color-coded and light to dark and folded the right way. There is so much more of like the duck, paddling under the thing. When you see that duck just kind of, floating on by, that there's so much more underneath the surface and feeling good about what's under the surface. You can go in somebody's house and stuff can look good on the surface, but you have no idea what's in their closets and their drawers and their basements and their attics and their storage units, on their credit card statements. You don't know by the surface. But what I will say to you is it is so much more of a wholehearted, 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional feeling of good when it doesn't just look good, but it functions. Your life doesn't just look good, but it functions well and it feels good. Okay? Hey, this is fun. So some people at the beginning of this TikTok live, had declared they wanted to do something, and maybe not even in the comments, but to themselves. So Abbott Elementary says, destination declutter the hallway is accomplished. I love it. Yay. Yay. Now, maybe some of the things that you wanted to accomplish today, you don't even know what it is. So I highly recommend. I will only be on this TikTok live for like another 7 minutes or so. Yeah. And then I sign off and then I live my life. Tonight, there will be a Destination Decluttered YouTube live at 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay? Before you shift gears, after I sign off, maybe when I sign off, you guys, and trust me, I am a TikTok scroller like nobody's business. I find joy in it. I find soothingness in it. But I also don't shame myself for it. But I say to you, if you're used to scrolling on TikTok, how about this? Shutting off TikTok after I sign off and sit there with yourself with a pen and some paper and just saying, hey, where am I headed? What do I want to do today? What do I want to do today? Write down want to do today. What do I have to do today? What are those actions leading me towards? If I drive down that road, is that going to be closer to my destination or further away? Now, you'll quickly realize that if you don't have a destination, you can't answer that question. So what am I headed for? What am I aiming for? Write down some of those things. What is a life that I would love if I was living it? What are some things that I hate about my current life? Write that shit down, people. Okay? Yeah. And then you will have a better understanding about what's going on under the surface in yourself. Okay? Now, Anastasia says, I have to work, but I should be doing the pile of clothes. I remember that pile of clothes. Anastasia, seriously, this is where time keeps on slipping into the future. Anastasia, you've got 5 minutes. Okay? Take 4 of them right now and just pick some stuff. Start to categorize the clothing in that pile. Put on a timer for 4 minutes. Do 4 minutes of decluttering that big pile of laundry. And then when the 4-minute timer goes off, you can stop and go to work. Chunking it down helps you get started. You may have a backseat driver who's like, yeah, no, I can't because, and that's because your backseat driver pipes up when they know you're about to do something different, and that threatens the equilibrium of what's been going on. Okay? So I say to you, you can do it. If you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. Anybody? Rush? Andy baby? And it's funny because Chloe Nat and Ray says, I literally just took care of the pile of clothes that needed to be folded. Yeah. There we go. Now Wanderlust Girl says, I've decluttered all I'm willing to. Awesome. Now working on organizing what I have, I don't know how to balance. Interesting. Now, it sounds like you just need to organize your stuff that you've decided you want. I can help you with that. I mean, I will say this. At a certain point, my interest and motivation to kind of optimize the storage of stuff, I get to a certain point and I say good enough. I say good enough. Okay? So I've been having trouble creating a system for laundry. Okay, Chloe Nat Ray, laundry and clothing tends to be a big one here, so I will share with you my personal laundry process. You can see where yours are, but notice that I have steps you go through to get from dirty laundry to clean laundry. And my destination is having clean laundry so I can easily get dressed every morning, easily be able to pull out an outfit, easily be able to fit into my clothes, and easily be able to feel comfortable in them. That to me is the goal of laundry, is to be able to cover my body in clean clothing. So I do this. Let's start where the clothing no longer becomes clean. I have a hamper that I am in the habit of putting my clothing. I have a habit of looking at that hamper. We actually have two. We have one for dark clothes because we wear a lot of black, and light clothes. So I am in the habit of putting my dirty clothes, not on the floor like I used to. I am in the habit of putting my truly dirty clothes in the hamper. I also have the habit of looking at that hamper because it is mesh. And when it gets to be about halfway to 3/4 and starts to get full, that is the visual trigger to say, that is more than enough. We need to put that in the laundry. So then I take that hamper, and it's easy to move to where the washing machine is. And I put the washing in the washing machine. When the washing machine stuff is over, I make sure there's no stuff in the dryer. If there's stuff in the dryer, I fluff it up. And I and my husband, because we participate in it, because it's not a patriarchy, it's not a monarchy, it's a community. We fold the laundry, and then his stuff goes in his things and my stuff goes in my things, and then the stuff from the washing machine goes into the dryer. Then notice right there, I just said what the dryer thing was. We dry it, and sometimes it stays there for a while. When it does, and we fluff it up, we will fold it, and then when we bring the laundry into the bedroom where the laundry mostly goes, his goes on a table and then into his drawers. Mine goes into that, and I say goes into, I put my stuff into a drawer, or I hang it up because there is room in my bureau or my closet to put it away the way I want to. Okay? So notice, Chloe, I will offer this because I only have a minute. So you've noticed where your process is not working. Where I get stuck is after drying, I do not put them away. They stay in clean bins in piles. So much like Oceanana said, I'm stuck in the living room because there's stuff in the garage. You are not stuck with laundry where you are. You are stuck probably, I'm just riffing here, okay? I am thinking that your closets and your bureaus are too full. That you try to go, you want to have a place to put that clean laundry, but it feels difficult to put away the clean laundry. If that's the case, keep the clean laundry aside, because clean laundry is indication of clothing that fits on your body right now that you're wearing. That's the active stuff that you're wearing. It goes from your body to the laundry and back again. Before you go try to put it away, I highly recommend open up one drawer of your bureau and say to yourself, is this stuff that I am actively wearing? And if it is not, get curious. Why am I not wearing it? Listen for the answer. And if I'm not wearing it and I want to wear it in the future, is there another place that this could go besides my bureau? And the answer is yes. It could go in a container that's labeled that says, wear this when this happens. Okay? So everybody notice, as I sign off here, first of all, Destination Declutter, Decluttering Life Coach at your service. You have habits and processes. When you look at your way you move through your life and your home with curiosity, and you do not cloud it with the judgment of shame and beating yourself up and telling yourself very dramatic, very emotional stories, but you look at things from an objective point of view, you can see where the opportunity is to do something different. Okay? Alrighty, see, Chloe said, beep, 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 look, am I good at my stuff or what? That definitely is the case. Too many clothes I'm holding on to that I shouldn't. Now notice should. Now I could talk about this for forever, but yesterday I did a 2-hour TikTok live and that took some time out of me. So I'm going to wrap up. Mama Pepper is saying, I'm on Manjaro. Is that what you picked? No, I was on Wegovy because that's what my husband was on. And now I'm on some, what do you call it? One of the ones, the compounded ones. We'll see. I go to the doctor next week. We'll see how long I'm on it. But yeah, I'm on a GLP-1 and I love it. But that is totally something for a different time. Okay? What I offer to you is I can help you through this. I can help you through this. That's why I show up. My name is Beth, Destination Declutter, Decluttering Life Coaching. I will see any of you who want to show up. We have a we have a YouTube live, 8 p.m. tonight. Tomorrow morning, we have a TikTok live and a YouTube live, and then I am off the digital grid for a number of days. There's help out there if you don't know how to do this by yourself. I'm the help, okay? I do one-on-one coaching. We've got a decluttering parties going on, all sorts of stuff. Go to destinationdeclutter.com and find out more. And I will see you guys later. And Anastasia, I'll see you tonight. Okay. Alrighty. I love it. Good stuff. People are decluttering. Keep it up.